Hi, Lori. It's been years. Well, at least a few years. It's been a few years since we ran into each other at the IHOP. I ran into you first. I saw you first. You were sitting with your husband and a bunch of little kids by the bathroom that I was going to. So I walked past you and I acted like you didn't exist. And then you didn't say anything either. You didn't make a scene or anything. So I thought, all right, maybe we're finally getting cool. Until I went and sat down with my sons at our table, and you show up with your husband and a bunch of these little kids, asking my son where his father was, and did his father know he was there with me, causing my son to have an anxiety attack in a crowded IHOP pancake house. Lori, do you think that's normal? I know you brag about it, and I know in your group, you know, oh, that's cool. Look, I went right up to her table, and I caused her son to have some anxiety because how dare he sit at a table and share pancakes with his mother? I thought we've taught him better than that. You think that's okay? I mean, I know you make excuses. You never say you're sorry. I don't think you've ever felt sorry about anything. But why would you do it? Why couldn't you just walk past me and let me enjoy a meal with my children like I tried to do for you? Because I'm not allowed to have my children, right? And why? It's been 8 years ago when I found the messages between you and Carmen on your phone. His name was even in your contacts. I could never understand how Carmen knew everything I was doing before I even did it. And when I confronted you about it, you flipped out because you got caught. Lori, why'd you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you help Carmen hurt me and set me up for a bunch of failures? I mean, I know a lot of that's my fault because I was naive and I thought you really loved me, and I thought you were all I had. And you were giving me great advice because you were my sister and you loved me. And you loved my kids. Why? I know you could give me excuses. I know you could try to blow me off. So I told you I didn't want anything else to do with you. When I realized all that you were doing to me, you were making me look like a sucker. I'm sitting there praising you. Look, we finally have a great, wonderful sisterhood, friendship, and wonderful relationship. And you were going behind my back, sabotaging me. Why? I had to go see a psychologist when I found those text messages between you and Mario, where I could understand why Mario would come home from Carmen's house hating me and wanting me, just being so pissed off at me and wanting to hurt me. But I couldn't understand why Mario felt the same. He did the same thing when he came home from your house. Because I thought, you being my sister, we'd be telling him, it's not cool to hurt your mother. It's not cool to hate your mother. So when I found those text messages between you and Mario where you're telling him, just get away from her, nothing's ever her fault, she's always has somebody else to blame. My son would come through the door hating on me because of all the stuff you were filling in his head since he was 4 years old. And I had to leave him with you to go take care of my baby. Why? Why are you proud of that? Why are you proud of anything that you've done to me? Why? Eight years ago, I told you I didn't want anything else to do with you. I didn't want to talk to you. I didn't want nothing to do with you. You wouldn't let me do that. You wouldn't let me go, would you? You wouldn't let me take my children with me. You continued texting Mario. You continued coming to visit, pick him up. Who cares what I said, right? I had to go to a psychologist because of all that. Because for one, I couldn't believe the text messages and what you were saying to my son about me. I just couldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. Lori was not doing this. Lori didn't use Sammy being sick to take my Mario away from me. It took that psychologist 3 sessions to finally help get it sunk in my head of how bad you hated me and what you were willing to do to me. Why? Why? I didn't call you. I didn't contact you. In my brain, in my life, you didn't no longer, 8 years ago, you no longer existed. The only reason you were in my life was my son was telling me he hated me. You were the only one he could trust. Because from the age of 4, you have manipulated Mario. You've manipulated him into believing into so many things. Why? Why? Why get involved with that psychologist last year? Why couldn't we have used that psychologist to help Carmen and I maybe try to figure out some way to communicate and to do something to help our children? But you guys used it as an opportunity to hurt me. Why? Why? Did you tell the psychologist last year that I have been trying to get away from you for years? That the police have been involved? That I probably have enough on you to get a restraining order? Did you tell that psychologist that? This is just a little bit, Lori, and you know that's just a little bit. And I'm praying to God that when you see this, because I know you've been watching it all, and hey, heads up, quit telling Carmen information for him to go to court with, because you're looking really bad in court right now. Because I think it's finally starting to sink in, you're stalking me. Everybody sees it, Lori. I know you're proud of yourself. I get it. You're proud that you've manipulated my children to the point where they're just like you. Does that hurt me? I'm sad because my children had a lot more potential than that. But you're not hurting me. You're hurting them. You're hurting your daughters. Look around you, Lori. There's not one person in this world that is better because you're in their life. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't. I mean, I've lived in your world. I know what it's like to live in your world. I've had to live in your world all my life. I'm telling you, sister, there's something greater. There's something so much better. I'll help you. I'll help you. Because you and everyone around you is nothing, there's nothing but darkness and hate and sickness. I don't want that for any of you. Any of you. That's why I ran away. So I pray this sinks in. I pray that you do have a conscience. I pray that you don't go to your daughters, to my children, to our siblings, to my ex-husband and his girlfriend. I pray that you stop going to them. And I pray that you end this now. Stop fueling all this hatred because it's not getting you all anywhere. I mean, I can look back and I can say, Lori, everything you do, every hit you to give me, I come back looking more beautiful and I'm twice as strong and I'm legit. You can be that way too. It could be different. The hate can stop. The hate can stop.